Okay, so pretty much this is just telling you how to kind of come up with ideas and what to really write about when you're faced with these sorts of stimulus. Okay, as you can see at the top of the screen, it tells you ways to approach idea planning, right? So it tells you images generally have a surface level interpretation and a deeper meaning. So it has A and B, right? So superficial, which is easy to do, and deeper meaning, which is harder, but very high marks if done well. So I would always recommend you to try to do B, like for the deeper meaning, because a lot of the time when the markers look at it, they're really looking for the deeper meaning. Okay, because if let's look at this one, right? Okay, let's look at the bike. So let's just say I look at this in the test and then I write about a bike with square wheels. So, I think probably like over half the kids will actually write about this bike, right? And that just makes it very generic. Okay, so the story's not very special at all. So that's why if you put a deeper meaning, most kids won't come up with it, for one, and also two, you're really linking the idea to your story more than just the picture. Remember, superficial just means like surface level, right? And this is very easy to do. I'd say this is okay as well if you're really stuck. If you really don't understand what the image is saying, it's better to have something on the paper than nothing. So if you can't understand the deeper meaning, that's okay. Just try to write about what's in the image then. Okay, so starting with the first one, we've got this bike and we've got square wheels. All right, so from kids I've asked for like this year's test, they said that a lot of them wrote about the square wheels, or something about like being special. Okay, so the square wheels one is obviously the superficial one, which is just the surface level one, and the being special one is definitely a deeper meaning one. All right, so the thing is, you can also say things like, you're using the right tools in the wrong way or something, or maybe you're doing something that is counterintuitive. Like there are different ways to interpret this sort of image. Okay, so it just depends on how you look at it, but there will always be better answers than others, right? So I'm not going to look at this bike and be like, something about it's okay. Yeah, I don't even know. It's hard to come up with a bad one. Okay, but in any case, what I'm saying is that you pretty much just want to think about why the odd thing is the odd thing. Like you just focus on these. You go like, okay, why is it that they're square? What's it trying to tell me? Is it trying to tell me that the whatever they're trying to achieve, they're doing it like very counterintuitively? Why would they put square wheels on the bike? And then you write about a story that doesn't even have a bike in it, right? So to answer the questions 1, 2, and 3, one, so the superficial surface level interpretation, just about the bike with square wheels, that's what you write about. So your story will be like, oh yeah, I got to my bike today, but for some reason I noticed that the wheels were square and it would not move, blah 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 blah, and that would be your story. And you can keep going with that. But 2 will give you higher marks. So this will be like how maybe you think you're normal but you don't fit in. Maybe that's like a story you write about. Then you're just going to be like, okay, well, you feel like with your friends, you look the same as them. You're acting the same way, but the thing is, deep down you're not the same, and you feel like you're left out or something like that. That would be a better story because there's more of a lesson to that. So 3, what aspects of the story need to be included? So this is in a superficial story and a deeper level interpretation. So, okay. For what aspects of the story need to be included? You need to be including a bunch of things, all right? So for the superficial level, what you have to do is you have to actually include all the parts of the stimulus, right? To show that you are actually talking about what is here. Okay, so that's the main thing you have to add. But other things that you probably have to add, things like just descriptive language, different sorts of ways to describe things, your techniques. You want to if you're gonna make like your story very superficial, what you need to do is pretty much back it up with good writing, like solid technique. Okay, so that's what that's probably what you need to do most if you're gonna write about something superficial. With deeper level interpretation, this is obviously you still want to add in your your techniques, your descriptive writing and everything like that as well. But the thing is, this one, you're not trying to hide your idea in this case. Yeah, so you're trying to let your ideas shine through. So what you need to do is make your connection very obvious. All right, so if your connection isn't that obvious, then they're gonna think, oh, this guy's just writing about whatever he wants, right? Not taking into account the stimulus at all. So if you're gonna write about something being counterintuitive, you have to make sure that you emphasize that as the moral of the story. All right. Or if you want to talk about you not fitting in, you want to make sure that is the emphasis of the story. So you can't just randomly, talk about anything else and just forget about the fitting in thing. Like if you just mention it once at the start and then the rest of the story is about something else, then you haven't used the stimulus. All right. Okay. So this one is, I'd say a pretty okay, like pretty easy stimulus to think of a deeper meaning for. So that's okay.